All right, welcome back to another Mortal Kombat 11 video. Today we're going to take a look at Baraka and kind of go over his basic moveset and how you should be playing Baraka. Basically just going to go over his playstyle in general. There's actually many players that want to learn Baraka, which is actually crazy to me because there's still new people that are just getting into Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. So I feel like going forward, it's only right to kind of make beginner guides and kind of teach you guys and show you guys the way of Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. So with that being said, we're gonna jump right into Baraka, and this is actually one of my main characters, one of my favorite characters in all of Mortal Kombat, the whole realm of MK. So I hope you guys enjoy Baraka's playstyle. I'm gonna show you some tips and tricks, and I hope you can get started with this new main that you decide to pick up. Hopefully you stick with Baraka. I think he gets countered pretty easily. However, he is a hard hitter, so if you get Baraka going, if you just touch the opponent twice, bro, oh my god. Like, just say GG's, for real. For this video, we are running the Gutted and Blade Charge custom variation. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say this is the best custom variation because custom variations are all personal. However, for Baraka, I've been maining this character since release, and these two just go hand in hand. Like, these two together make Baraka feel so complete. So if you're someone like me, I love characters that have insane damage, and Baraka literally hits like a truck. This dude can get 50% for 1 bar a meter. It's actually kind of ridiculous. However, Baraka's downside, like just straight up, is his lack of range. Baraka doesn't really have the best range with his pokes and just like his staggers and stuff. Like his basic combo strings don't have insane range on them. So if you're going up against characters like Fusion has an advancing mid that really counters Baraka whenever he tries to do a string, just like that. So you're gonna get punished. So you just have to find the right spacing to actually get the punish on your opponent. So listed on the screen is Baraka's best combo strings, and easily his mangled combo string 112 looks like that is his best combo string that he has, because you can stagger this, and if you get the confirm, you can special cancel into a full combo. Outworld Bash is also a really good combo string for Baraka because it hits overhead into a hard knockdown, and if you were to actually get the counter or a punish, it actually has a crushing blow launcher in which you can extend the combo for some really good damage. And then his Bloody Mess, his forward 212, is actually +1 on block, so you can always follow up with a forward 4 or forward circle or forward B, whichever console you're playing on. For me, I'm on PS4, so it is forward circle. So if you're ever +1 after the string, you can follow up with the forward 4. And then the last string is Cutting Loose, and this is a back 3-1-2. This starts low, goes into a mid, and then ends with a hard knockdown overhead. So the best part about all 4 combo strings for Baraka is that he can stagger all of them. You never know what Baraka is going to throw next because he's so good at staggering. And keep in mind, all of these combo strings are safe on block. So that one right there is actually +1. His 1-2-2 is -4, which is safe. His forward 2-1-2 is +1. And his back 3-1-2 is -6. So all 4 combo strings are safe. And again, once you start staggering with these combo strings, you can actually use them as mix-ups in a way, because the opponent is always going to be expecting the last hit to come out if they understand Baraka's matchup and all of his combo strings. So if they're expecting the overhead, you can just stagger. You can stagger and kind of mix them up with his pressure. So as I was saying before, anytime Baraka is +1, you always want to follow up with his forward 4. Because even if the opponent blocks the forward 4, I've actually made a video on this before, but depending on where you are on the screen, when you throw out the forward 4, the frame data actually changes on block. So again, if you were to reach at this range right here, you can see it's -2. But if you reach at this range, you're +2. And even after the forward 2-1-2, kind of bait them out, forward 4, we are now +2. So you can see how that's kind of like an advantage for Baraka, because if the opponent doesn't understand his frame data and that changes on block depending on where he is on the screen, you can kind of get away with some crazy offensive pressure. So just like we said, every single character in this game can always be countered. So even though Baraka has really good combo strings, they're very simple, they're very easy to do. They're kind of basic combo strings, in my opinion, very easy to learn. There's always a counter. So you can flawless block his 1-1-2. You can also flawless block his forward 2-1-2. So now let's dive into his stagger game, because his staggers are actually kind of ridiculous if used correctly. So you can realistically stagger after any combo you choose to do. You don't have to follow up with the full combo. You can always cancel and get that mix-up pressure. Like, this isn't a true 50-50, but the stagger game becomes a mix-up in a way. Because with the knowledge we have now that you can actually flawless block the last hit, you can kind of bait the opponent like this and catch them off guard. And not to forget, Baraka also has a really good throw game, forward throw and back throw. So if you start staggering your opponent, kind of mixing them up with these staggers because they don't know what's coming next, you can actually get that throw game going. So what I like to do is I like to stagger with 1-1, right? 1-1, 1-1, sometimes just standing one. So once you condition the opponent to respect these staggers, you can actually start mixing because they're going to expect a throw like I just showed. So now, with the knowledge of your combo strings, you can actually go into the back 3 low and mix them and catch them off guard. And the best part about these staggers that we've mentioned before is they're all safe. No matter how you end it, you will always be safe. So it's not really like you're risking anything. It's not like high risk, high reward like Sonya. Like, when she mixes, she lives and dies by the mix. Whereas Baraka can kind of get away with mixing you. And if he does open you up, you're about to take serious damage, like insane amount of damage. And then a few other combo strings that are actually +1 on block are his Splintered, which is his 2, 1+3. You can see that's +1 on block. And then his down 4 is actually +1 on block. So what I like to do is if I'm staggering, I like to check the opponent like that because that's always going to keep me plus. And again, his 1-1-2 is also plus, but again, we just talked about it has a flawless block gap, so you don't want that to happen. You want to kind of mix up with these staggers like we've been saying and kind of throw in those extra plus frames. So the 2 combo strings that you really want to focus on when going for a full combo with Baraka are Mangled and Cutting Loose. So his 1-1-2 is a really good combo starter because you can cancel into Gutted for that extended launcher. And then his back 3-1 can also be special canceled into Gutted. You can also do 1-2 realistically, or even forward 2-1. I just think it's more comfortable to stick with 1-1-2 or back 3-1. Because sometimes, depending on the range, if you were to do forward 2-1, like from here, you won't be able to reach with the Gutted special move. You can see how it's out of reach. Whereas, that will most likely always confirm. The 1-1-2 will most likely always confirm. Even if I only connect the last hit, it'll still connect into the Gutted special move. And same with this. You can see why these combo strings are more effective when going for a full combo. I personally like the 1-1-2. It's just very basic. It's a simple combo string. It doesn't really take a lot of skill to actually master. 1-1-2, very easy to throw out. And it leads to some really good damage. 1-2-2 is just really good for punishing the opponent because, like I said, you get that crushing blow into a full combo. Look at this. Look at this damage. That's 44%, and it does dot damage over time. So that realistically just did about 54%. Kind of ridiculous. So you can see why I really like Baraka, because I just love his damage. I love how he hits so hard, and I love how he kind of just annoys you in a way with his staggers. I love characters with good staggers. So Baraka is really fitting for my playstyle. So Baraka's forward 4 is honestly his best footsie tool. As a Baraka player, you want your opponent to kind of make a mistake. That's what you look for. So once you get them in that range where you know the forward 4 is going to hit, that's where you just ball out, bro. Like, for real. Like, you get them in this footsie area, this neutral. You start playing the neutral game with them. Footsies, run the footsie, kind of back up, walk forward, kind of bait them, and then get the punish. So again, we're kind of playing this footsie game. We're just backing up, walking forward, waiting for them to throw out a command so we can catch them off guard. Just like that. Into 35%. And if you actually get the punish with the forward 4-4, you get the crushing blow, into Blade Charge into 27%. So that's really good. And if you actually have Fatal Blow active, you can cancel into Fatal Blow for a full combo. %, bro. Like, that's kind of ridiculous if you ask me. And keep in mind, you don't just have to use forward 4 to get the counter. You actually have Blade Charge with this custom variation, so you can catch them off guard like that and get the punish. Throw them in the corner. So you can see the range on this. It's actually a very, very strong neutral tool. Because look at the range, bro. Like, that's really, really strong for Baraka to have in the neutral zone. Baraka also has a really good fireball. His Blade Spark is really good. The first fireball is a high, so the opponent can neutral duck. But once you meter burn it, the second fireball is actually a mid. So you can kind of jail people with this. Because if you did something like 1-1-2 into EX fireball, like, that's real. That's a real full combo string that the opponent has to hold unless they make the read. So once you start conditioning them with the fireball, if you're playing that full screen game and kind of zoning them out, spacing them out, once you condition them to just neutral duck, you also have his back 2, his back triangle, which hits overhead and it's a hard knockdown. So you can condition them with this fireball and then catch them off guard with that back 2. So now let's take a look at the Blade Charge special move that we added to Baraka's custom variation, because the Blade Charge special move is actually Baraka's armor breaking move, so you can get some crazy damage with this as well. So breakaways is a huge defensive mechanic in this game. It's one of those mechanics that I personally dislike. I wish it wasn't in the game. I wish the breakaway system kind of worked differently. I think it just, with the regeneration of meter, you can kind of abuse breakaway, so it gets annoying at times. However, Baraka really makes the opponent pay for when they want to use breakaway. So like I said, his Blade Charge is his armor breaking move. So the opponent were to go breakaway, Baraka is going to break their armor. And if you actually hold... If you hold down 2, it has a crushing blow. And you can see he gets some big boy damage. So if we go into a combo and dash up into standing 4, you can see I caught him into 52%. So the best part about Baraka's armor breaking move being Blade Charge is you can honestly put the opponent in a death or death situation. I know that kind of sounds weird because it's usually a life or death situation, but Baraka has so many options to prevent the opponent from actually surviving. Like, there isn't a way for you to actually survive unless you make the read at the perfect time. Like, it has to be perfect. So if I did 1-1-2 into gutted and I went for a full combo, if the opponent broke away, you could see they survived. Their health bar didn't get deleted. But if I made the read like I just showed you and I go into Blade Charge and get that armor breaking move, say goodbye to their health bar. They are now dead. The round is over and you just won. But let's say you do the exact same combo, but this time the opponent decides they're not gonna break away. You still have the gutted crushing blow, which is gonna kill. So you can see how that is so effective, because now, like I just said, the opponent is in a death or death situation. They have to make the right read at the perfect time. So now you realistically have 2 options to close out the round against your opponent, and that gives Baraka the upper hand. So that's basically all the stuff I really wanted to just go over. I know that was kind of a lot to take in, but as a beginner, these are all of the tools you should be studying and getting to understand as you use Baraka. But that's it for me, guys. I really appreciate you watching this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you become better Baraka players, and maybe we'll get to play someday. Who knows? Maybe we can run the Baraka mirror. But until then, guys, take care. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.